everybody, and welcome back to Sinister Sisters Crime and Curiosity Podcast. My name is Ash, and I'm with my lovely co-host Bree.
What up?
And tonight we are doing the case of Mitrice Richardson.
On our wrongful / weird death Wednesday.
Yes.
Where we talk about a wrongful or weird death.
Oh, disclaimer,
and here
we
are
not professionals. We might not have all of the facts, the truth, the evidence. We just do research like everybody else. We haven't got to the stage yet where we're interviewing people. So stop adding us in the comments on our stuff, telling us we're doing a horrible job. We are not professionals. And you could just click on and move on. You don't have to listen or watch anything. Respectfully.
We got a really mean comment on one of our videos that I just found today after like 3 months. And I think that got us a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's the truth. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. That's why we have free will. Do what you want.
Right. And I don't
never claimed we were professionals.
Right. I don't see
We're just having fun. I mean, it's not a fun topic, but I mean,
they told us to give it up.
Pretty much. Yeah, but we never claimed we were professionals. We say it every video. We're just having an open discussion, and if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it.
I don't remember.
That's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I'm not crying. My eyes are just watery.
I don't remember
it's as simple as that.
Comment, but they basically told us that we didn't give all the information, that we sucked, pick a new hobby.
No, I mean,
give it up.
I forget the exact thing, but they were just like, you should not do true crime anymore. And it's like, I'm still going to do it. So
right. We're still going to do it because we love doing this. And you don't have to listen. Just move on.
At all. We're just having an open discussion. Like, we don't have no fancy theatrics and music and all of that. We're just having an open discussion.
Right. Like, we're still learning how to.
And if you don't like it, you don't like it. Right, yeah. I'm just now getting the hang of that a little bit.
And when we take off and we're famous, you're going to be really mad, just to let you know. You're probably going to be one of those people that come and want to do a meet and greet with us, okay?
My eyes, oh God. We'll see. My eyes
are watering. We're
going
to be famous, and you don't even have the guts to do this, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Sorry
Let's
for that.
Let's get into our wrongful weird death Wednesday.
So, our case is on Mitrice Richardson. She was born April 30th, 1985.
Correct.
When she went missing / ended up unalived, she was 24 years old. Well,
correct.
Yeah, she was 20. I feel like she would have. Yeah, never mind. Skip over what I have to say. She also was part of the LGBTQ community. Ally.
What up, LGBTQ?
We love y'all.
We love it.
We just love you all.
And support it.
Period. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little background on her parents. She was born to Mitrice and Michael. Her parents met as juniors at their high school, and they started dating, obviously, junior year. Going into her senior year, the mom became pregnant, but she was determined to keep and have good grades and be successful in life. Which, period, girl.
Hell yeah.
We love that.
Love that for her.
Mitrice ended up moving in with her grandmother, Mildred, and Mildred would watch Mitrice while Mitrice and Michael went to school and would work. Michael was working at a fast food place and ended up selling drugs on the side because the fast food place was not enough. For you all out there that have kids, it ain't cheap. And then having to take care of yourself
At
and
all.
bills, it ain't cheap.
Right.
So Michael ended up getting really caught up into selling drugs and ended up getting locked up when Mitrice was 4 years old, and he was sentenced to 8 years. And Lettice didn't want to wait around for him. She wanted to move on with her life.
Yeah.
Like, she said, I got things to do, people to see, places to go, and period, girl, because
Love that for Latrice.
I get it, he was providing, but sometimes that ain't the way, baby.
Not when you're in jail or prison.
So she ended up seeing other people, and she met a guy named Larry Sutton, and they ended up getting married in 1993, but in 1993, they moved to Covina, California, because they did live in Los Angeles, California, and around that time in 1993 is when there was a big riot that was going on, and they didn't think it was safe because of the crimes and stuff, so they ended up moving. So
didn't it also have to do with the school she went to? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I don't remember that. I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay, don't listen to me.
Okay.
No, just don't listen to me.
So now we're moving on to Mitrice. She was said to be smart, and she always had high grades. Like, she succeeded in school. In middle school, she started cheer and continued through high school. Period, girl. We love that. She was in cheer competitions and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
She, when she graduated, she ended up going to college. And even in college, like, she succeeded. Like, she even made it onto the dean's list.
Ooh, love that for her.
Right. As she was actually working, she worked at a job where she was working in a shipment yard. I think she was in the office, though, doing office work. It was said that she didn't like the outdoors. She didn't like walking. She was scared of the dark. She just liked to be inside. And me too sometimes.
It'd be like that. Right. It'd be like that sometimes.
So when she went off to college, it was said that they thought it would have been too much of her driving back and forth because where the college was located. I didn't write down where the college was located, but sorry about that. So she ended up moving in with her great-grandmother.
I can tell you where the college is located. I believe it was Fullerton.
Okay.
California. I could be wrong, but that sounds familiar to me. But I could be wrong. I'm like 90% sure.
It was said that she got into psychology, wanted to become a psych major, psychologist, or...
Yes. Yeah, I did see that.
So even though she was working at the shipment yard, she became a midnight ballerina. If you guys know, we love that for her.
But just to specify, it wasn't stripping.
It wasn't stripping.
It was just dancing. Just to specify.
She had business cards that she made up with her name. I was supposed to look up her stage name and I forgot.
That's okay. We might not even know that information. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might not be out there. I'm sure it is, but it's fine.
Her dad definitely didn't approve of this. He thought it would make her image look bad. And she was just like, I'm a dancer. I'm not a stripper. I'm doing what I want. I'm making money, And, honestly, good for her, because even if
she was very pretty.
Even if you were a stripper, no judgment.
Do what you got to do.
Right.
But she did pageants and stuff. I mean, she was very pretty.
She did pageants. It said that she also tried modeling and would go to sketchy places, which her friends and family would tell her not to go alone. And during one of these meetups, she ended up meeting a girl named Vanessa, and Mitrice, like, became very interested in Vanessa. She, I guess, was, like, in love with her, but Mitrice was also, and not Mitrice, Vanessa was said to have a girlfriend, and there was, like, some weird love triangle, and, that Vanessa
I
wasn't
did not know that.
interested in Mitrice like that. So,
I did not know that.
yeah.
Interesting.
So Mitrice ended up going to a party at the Playboy Mansion, and at the party, she seemed stressed and irritated about the situation with Vanessa because Vanessa did end up telling her to back off, and this ended up making Mitrice distance herself from everybody. And when she did talk to everybody, she would send like weird text messages that didn't make no sense. And her social media posts were like weird, like updating like weird things. I didn't write down the things she said, but they were kind of weird.
Yeah, I did see that. And the night before her disappearance, I think she was on social media like very heavily, posting like constantly.
Yeah. So as summer of 2009 came to a close, she really distanced herself from her family, friends, and the messages and social media got even weirder and definitely didn't make any type of sense. And her explanations wouldn't make any more sense when she was questioned about it. Her mother ended up texting her and was asking her what was going on with her, and she responded very weirdly, and that like made her mom become very concerned about her actions and her well-being, her mental health. And that was on September 16th, early in the morning. Um, she ended up sending her mom a message that didn't make no type of sense. So she went to work, and this was at the shipyard. And her coworker said that she was in a really good mood. And then she went on lunch break and never returned. She didn't mention anything to anyone. She ended up having dinner with her grandmother, but once they got to like having like I guess the dinner part, she ended up telling her grandmother that the plans changed, and she told her that the ocean was calling her and that she
I did hear
needed
that.
to go to the beach.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So she told her grandmother that she was going to skip dinner for just that night and was going to drive to Malibu and take the scenic route. She left around 5 p.m. to Malibu, which everyone thinks that's what she was doing. And between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., Mitrice's Aunt Laura, or Lauren, what goes home and she sees like all these cards laying on the floor on her step, and they're Mitrice's business cards. So she's like, oh, I guess she must have stopped here. And then she's seeing like a note like underneath her husband's windshield wiper, and the note didn't make no sense. It was like something hi uncle something. It just didn't make no type of sense.
So I think, at least for my findings, when I was like listening to podcasts on this case and stuff, I believe the note said no black woman scorned,
Yeah, and it had that too.
is what the note said.
It had like
Oh, okay. So it was along with something else.
Yeah, that was like at like
Okay.
another part of the note, but I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up.
No problem.
And like her, I guess her aunt really didn't think much of it, and then she ended up like feeling like something was off. So now Mitrice arrives in Malibu around 7 p.m. Because she stopped and watched the sunset, and then, took off, got in a car, and then drove along till she comes across a fancy restaurant called Geoffrey's or Jeffrey's.
I think it's Joffrey's, but I
Joffrey.
obviously don't 100% know.
I'm not
I heard
sure.
people saying Joffrey's.
We'll go with Joffrey's. So Mitrice never really spent a lot of time around Malibu, or, I guess like a place like Malibu. But she wanted to see the restaurant and wanted to go in to get some good food. So it was valet parking only. And the valet guy told her to wait a second. He had to go park the car and he'd be right back to park hers. After he left, she ended up getting out her car and getting into another car. It wasn't said if it was his car or another person's car. But, like, when he came back, he's like, so what are you doing? And
Weird.
she's like, it's subliminal. And then he goes, what are you doing? And then later on, she tried explaining that she was trying to avenge the death of Michael Jackson. And then started going through all the CDs in the car. So I guess she finally gets out, and she, like, asked the valet guy if Vanessa was there, and he's like, I don't know who the hell Vanessa is. And Mitrice says, watch out for a woman with tattoos all over her arms. So now Mitrice goes inside the restaurant and wanders around, and the valet guy tells the hostess to keep an eye on her, that he thinks there's something off. So Mitrice asks for a table for one, and she gets led into the dining area, and, she was definitely, like, this restaurant wasn't like tuxedo and stuff like that, but it was definitely like casual, formal dressing. Casual? Is that it? Is that the answer? Casual?
I mean, I would think it's a little more than casual if you need
But
valet
like
parking.
formal?
I
But
would say formal.
they
I mean,
don't
who
wear
knows? I've never been there.
they said that they don't wear like tuxedos and like stuff like that. Like just nice, like not like jeans and like a
Right.
t-shirt like she was wearing. She was wearing like
Right.
Vans, a hot pink stuff, and like a Bob Marley shirt and a
Yeah,
Rasta
definitely that's probably not.
hat, and so she was a little dressed out of place, if you want to say,
Yeah.
the way she was dressed. So she ends up ordering a cocktail and a steak that was $65. I hope that steak has magic
Right.
powers.
I mean, you're also in Malibu, so.
That's true.
Which is weird. Why are you in Malibu in the first place?
Right.
If you're not familiar with it, by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So as she waits for her food, she's looking around and she sees another table, and there's a group of people, and there's like 7 people. So she made her way over there and just invited herself into the group. And it was said she was making weird comments, like saying she's not from this planet and her mother was planet Earth. So her food comes out and she eats, and then she makes her way back over to the group. And at this time, they're finishing up and they're, paying their bill to leave. So Mitrice got up with them and started to leave with them. And she's telling the people, I'm going to Hawaii soon. And stopped her and said her bill wasn't paid, and she thought that the bill was paid from the other people. And they said no, and she ends up going busted. You caught me. I don't have no money. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this. Like you could just tell like she was
Weird.
out of the norm. So he ends up telling the hostess to call the police, and the hostess describes to the police that there's this person here, I don't know, like if they don't have money or if there's something mentally, if they're on drugs or if they have something mentally wrong with them. So the police come and they're outside questioning her, and she's telling them like, "Oh, my wallet's in the car. I can pay for it." So they search the car, and I guess her car was like that much of a mess that they couldn't find her wallet, and all they did was find her ID. So they ended up asking they did a sobriety test. She was sober. So they asked the manager, like, do you want to just let her go or press charges? And the owner ended up saying that they wanted to press charges. So then they take her to the sheriff station, and she gets booked with possession of marijuana and I don't remember what the other thing was that she got booked for, but it was weird because when they found the marijuana in the car, they said it wasn't even enough to charge her. So for one, that's just weird.
Yeah, it was a very
Um,
small amount.
yeah. Um. So the hostess, I guess, told Mildred she was still on the phone. He told them that they wouldn't let her pay with her credit card over the phone
Right, you're right. Yep.
because they said that she would have had to been there to sign for it, which is weird because literally she was going to pay for it.
Right.
So now you're just being
Arresting people for fun.
you're just
Yeah.
out of the way for no reason. But anyway, so her mom, Mildred calls her mom, and her mom calls the police, and she's like, "What's going on? When will Mitrice be released? Because she's gonna have to drive to the police station to pick her up, and if it wasn't gonna be until the next day, then she'd come because she did also have a 10-year-old daughter that was sleeping at home." But it was said that she wasn't being released until the next day, and that they would have Mitrice call Lettice and let her know what was going on. So Lettice ended up actually being like relieved that she was not that she was locked up and put in jail, but that she wasn't just out there alone and doing whatever, because her mom definitely felt like she was having mental problems.
Yeah.
So Matrice's mom ended up going to sleep and waking up at 5 something, and when she woke up she ended up calling the police, and they ended up telling her, or she ended up calling them to see when she would be released and if she could bail her out. I guess like if she had a bail, she could bail her out, how much it would be. And she ended up finding out that she was released overnight. I think at 12:30 in the morning. So then she starts asking and wondering why she was released overnight, and how they said that she was not supposed to be released until the next day, and they ended up telling her it's because Mitrice never had any previous charges before, and the marijuana charge wasn't enough to keep her overnight. So the police ended up telling Lettice like she could stay in the cell, so she had a place to stay for the night, or she could have stayed in the lobby. And Mitrice told them no, she denied it. She didn't want to stay there. So Lakeith asked about Mitrice's state of mind, and they said that she wasn't showing any signs of mental illness, and that she was an adult and they couldn't make her stay. She had no money, no car, no phone, no nothing. Her car was 15 miles away in a tow yard, impounded, and had no way there to get it, or it probably wasn't even open. And they ended up not even offering to give her a ride anywhere. So, respectfully, they're shitty for that.
Right.
Because she was a 24-year-old African American young woman that had nothing, and she was by herself. So, after Lettice talked to police, she quickly began calling everyone to see if they had seen or heard from Mitrice, and nobody, and that they didn't let her know, but nobody saw or heard from her. So sorry, got to edit that out. So instantly and everything, she starts panicking, which I would, being a mother, like, I'm panicking. Like, nobody's heard or seen from my kids. She don't have no phone, no car, no nothing, no money.
Right.
Nobody gave her a ride to anywhere. Like,
and she specifically said, I mean, please don't release her.
yeah.
I'll come get her in the morning.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, she's an adult and you kind of have to let her go. I don't think she should have been arrested in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was only like 15 minutes later, she ends up calling the sheriff's station back to file a missing persons report, and they tell her normally you have to wait 24 hours to report it, unless there's, like, something, I guess, like, really wrong with her. So they convinced her to wait, and around 6:30 a.m., the sheriff's station receives a phone call from a man named Bill Smith, who is a retired reporter and lives in, I'm going to say it wrong, in Monte Nido, California. So this area is like mountains, ranch, just straight land, steep hills, the canyon, all that. So he lives there, and he's saying that there is a slim black woman with an afro walking through his backyard. And he asked her if she was okay, and she just said that she was just resting. So he went back to doing whatever he was doing, and then later comes back and she was gone. So he called the police because it's not like there's like a bunch of houses because of how the land is. So, like, I guess the houses are spread out and not very close. So it was concerning to him that she was there.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with my microphone.
Can't hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
I was just...
Nope. Okay. So the sheriffs went out and searched around and didn't find anyone fitting that description. Lettice ended up driving to the sheriff's station to file a missing persons report, and that's when the police told her that a man called in and gave the description, and all the information that they received. So they ended up giving Lettice the information and directions to the area. She files a report and then heads out to the area. Lettice said she had a really bad gut feeling that something wasn't right. The area was so rugged and hard to search. Lettice said Mitrice didn't like the outdoors and was scared of the dark. So it was weird that she would even be in that area. And she also hated walking. She said it would be so dark out there that there was no street lights and it was pitch dark. That nobody should be out there unless you live out there. After the first 48 hours, that's when sorry. You're gonna have to edit that out because that was messed up. After the first 48 hours, the first official search happened. Some say it was 8 hours after, but after Mitrice's disappearance, that the search happened, but it really was after 48 hours. The search dogs were brought out to where Bill's house was, where she was last seen, and her scent was picked up by the dogs and led them to a nearby neighbor's house. But then the scent was lost. 8 hours is how long the search lasted, and then it was called off. On September 23rd, 4 days later, the case was transferred from LAPD Missing Persons Unit to the Robbery and Homicide Division. I don't know, it sounds like a car is just driving by and keeps driving by.
Oh, is it me? Oh, no. Let me mute it. It's probably because my windows are open.
Oh. First thing they do is go to search her car to see if they can find any clue of where she was going, if she was going to see anybody, if she had a plan, and if there was phone numbers, anything like that they could, call and figure out things. Once they got through the car, they came across her wallet and seen that she had credit cards and bank cards. So they checked bank statements to see if she was pulling any money out of the ATM. They see that there's over $2,000 in her account, so she could have paid the bill easily if she was able to get to her car in the first place. And the whole arrest could have been prevented.
I think they said that the police station to where she was in that person's yard was like 8 miles away.
Oh. That's close. Kind of, but not really.
Well, I mean, if you're on foot.
It's not close if you're on foot, but...
Right. But I just wanted to throw that out there.
They also found her journal in the car, and they went through it to see if they could see what was happening in her mind before she went missing. They had a psychologist working with the LAPD, and they speculated Mitrice was probably suffering from some type of mental illness, which was possibly a bipolar disorder. At this time, the media ended up picking up the story, and they said a young African-American woman has been arrested and brought to the sheriff's station, then allowed her to leave by herself despite questions about her mental health. And it was questioned why the deputies didn't offer her a ride. Years earlier to this, celebrity Mel Gibson was pulled over and arrested and charged and booked at the same sheriff's station with a DUI, and when he was released, they offered him a ride back to his car. So they wanted to know why, they gave him a ride but not her, and it's given racist. It's given racist. So this caused rage.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. This caused rage that they could give him a ride and not her. At 12 a.m. with nothing. This obviously does outrage and upset the family because where is their daughter at? Latice wants to know why her daughter was released when she was assured that she would be held until the morning. And of course, the sheriff's office denied any knowing of Mitrice's possible mental health issues. Now, I don't know if you remember, but when I said the hostess called the police, she did say that, she could be on drugs or there's something mentally wrong. So, I'm sure they questioned, people, and they questioned the people at the thing saying that she said she wasn't from this planet and her mother was planet Earth. And there was something else about her saying that she was from Mars. And then she's just hopping in a random car when the valet told her to wait. Like, there's something odd going on, and you can definitely tell that. And I know they questioned everybody. And if they didn't, they did a shitty job.
But you could tell that before she even went to the restaurant. I mean, from the Facebook posts and
Right.
what she did at the aunt's house, the text
Don't
messages.
tell me that they didn't go through social media and stuff like that. That's literally every time there's something, they go through all of that. So I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so on September 20th, there was an email between the lieutenant and the sheriff. Lieutenant and the captain, which the lieutenant felt Mitrice was acting unusual and felt uneasy about letting her go. But the sheriff's station stands by that they had no idea about this email and no recollection of writing this email. That there was no way that they wrote the email. So
everybody just out here lying.
We just out here telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the conflict between the family and law enforcement, sorry, there's a lot of editing this time. Okay, so there was 250 people that searched the area. They're looking for clothing, a shoelace, even crumbs. And unfortunately, they found nothing. But shortly after the search for Mitrice, her father, Michael, was driving out in Las Vegas. And he reports seeing Mitrice. And allegedly, she was working as a prostitute. And he speculates that she was recruited by someone she met through the Playboy Mansion.
So I just want to confirm. This is biological father.
Yes, biological.
Michael. So he lives, I guess, in the Vegas area while Mitrice's mom and stepdad live in California.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Or that she met through her dancing job. He said he called out Mitrice, and ran after her, and whoever the woman was ran off into the cloud. But Michael says he knows he saw her. 6 months after the disappearance, Mitrice's family is brought into the sheriff's station to be shown the surveillance footage. The family has been asking for the footage for a long time, but the officers constantly said over and over again that there was no cameras outside and that the cameras in the station only monitored and didn't record. And that's what they kept telling the family over and over again. But out of nowhere, they happened to find footage because obviously it's because the civil rights attorney kept on pushing and asking for it. And thank God they had the civil rights attorney, because could you imagine if they didn't? They wouldn't have been able to see this footage at all. And would have been kept being told that there was no footage.
How are you a police station and you don't record anyway?
Right.
That just don't make sense anyway.
Right. So as they're watching the footage, they see Mitrice is acting weird. She's holding on to the cell bars and swaying her body from side to side. You could see that she was agitated and annoyed. This behavior is abnormal to her family, and it's obvious that she's acting strange, but the sheriff department disagrees and claims that she looked normal, so they released her. So she's walked out by, I guess it's called a jailer or officer, jailer officer, I'm not sure. And another deputy is seen walking out, but the family was told that there was no deputies present at the time of her release. So now the family is wondering, did this deputy give her a ride somewhere, or did he have something to do with her disappearance? So the deputy was interviewed and claimed he didn't see her leaving, which we all know is probably a lie. Now it's June, and a former friend of Mitrice believes he spotted her in Las Vegas, as well in a casino, and when he called her name, she appeared nervous and ran away. So now this is 2 sightings of her that people think or they did see her. And so the investigators go to Las Vegas and they investigate. And it was said that more than over 70 people reported seeing Mitrice there.
In the Vegas area. Like, how did you get to Vegas?
Right.
And that's a lot of people.
Right. But
which makes me think that it really was her.
It probably was her. But after looking around for a while, there was no answers and no sightings of her. And now it is August 9th, and there's 2 park rangers that are out in Montanito. If you guys remember, I said that Mr. Bill Smith, the retired reporter, lived out there. And they're walking around the area, and it's extremely hard to walk because it's known as the Dark Canyon. It's difficult to maneuver, and it's very steep. So during their hike, they discover a body, and they see a skull with black curls still attached to it. And nearby was women's clothing, and later on, the remains were later confirmed as Mitrice's. I also was hearing that her leg was above from where the rest of her body was found. So I think maybe her remains were not all there, or did she fall down, break her leg, and fall? But I'm not sure what other information you have on this, Brie, about them finding her body.
The only other thing that I heard was that it was found adjacent to, like, a popular mansion where they produce pornography.
Oh.
Right. But, yeah, it was in that same area where the reporter had called and said that she was in his yard. And I'm just confused. Because how do you get from Vegas? So how do you get from California to Vegas, from Vegas to California?
Right. Can somebody look this up? Because, what is this? What did I say the place was? Montanito?
I don't know how to say it. Something like that. But it's in the Calabasas area of California.
Oh, so that's like where Kim Kardashian and them live.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, like,
famous people.
Rich houses, and it's, like, mountainous.
Oh, she was definitely... I feel like
right off... Oh, no, go ahead.
I feel like she was murdered and placed there.
Right. Alright, so she's acting weird right from before she even went to this... I feel like everything starts at this restaurant, but prior to the restaurant, she was acting very weird with her posts and everything. Obviously, like, we talked about it. But I don't think she should have been arrested that night. Especially since, like, you did the sobriety test and she passed it. But I think what they should have did was either call a family member or a friend to come get her. Because they had multiple ways of getting that restaurant bill paid. There was even strangers that offered to pay for it for her. So forget the bill. Now we're talking about her. Like, she's acting concerning. They should have either took her to a place, like to a hospital, It shouldn't have been, in my opinion, an arrest. You had
Well,
nothing to arrest her on.
also, and they also should have questioned her to see about how her mental state was, because then they could have held her longer or put her on what is that, a 72-hour psych hold to where she
Yes,
was
correct.
monitored and evaluated. They just like skipped over everything.
You had multiple people there that confirmed that she was acting mentally unstable. So why did you think, let me arrest her and put her in jail? And then you don't have nothing to arrest her on. She was sober. I mean,
Right,
yeah,
because
okay, like she didn't pay the bill, but that bill would have been paid no problem. Like that's not the problem anymore. The problem is her mental health.
right, and I feel like honestly, when they searched her car at the restaurant and they found the marijuana, it was said that it wasn't even enough to charge her.
Right.
So why did we arrest her and charge her with possession of marijuana when it was said that it wasn't even enough to charge her? Like, did you charge her or did you take her because she was having mental health problems? Because she was a young black woman having
Right.
mental health problems, and the owner was just probably racist as well? Because if people were offering to pay, you should have just let the bill get paid.
Right. And then all of this would have never happened.
Exactly.
But because of the way she was acting, I think you could have had a family member or friend come and get her from the restaurant.
Right.
Or instead of arresting her and taking her to jail, you should have brought her to a hospital. And like
Exactly.
you said, they would have had her on a hold or just other things could have happened besides the jail, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But also, why do you think she was acting this way? Like, what do you think happened to make her.
I just feel like something with the girl Vanessa, but it was also said that, wasn't it said that where you found your information she had a girlfriend named Tessa?
No, I think it was Vanessa. I think that was the girlfriend that I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
And supposedly they were together for like 2 years. That's at least what I saw. I can't confirm. But,
So, and like she went to a party at the Playboy Mansion. You know, those areas and things like Hollywood and stuff like that, that was known for
right.
like what, drugs and being drugged. Like, what if they gave her something and it messed up her mental? Because that could happen where you're just stuck in a replaying like trip and you're like, now you have
Or
mental
even her
problems.
job.
Right.
Even her job as a dancer.
As a dancer, somebody could have slipped something or something like that. Like, it's sad. Or maybe she did have mental health problems and it was coming out, but they didn't take the time to question her and ask her, like, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
can we help you? No, I just feel
And
like they were racist from the start.
I also think that her mentioning Vanessa at the restaurant, saying, like, you might see her, this lady with tattoos, and she just seemed a little. That, I think, is something important.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
why are you mentioning Vanessa? Like, Vanessa is following you or something?
Or they were gonna meet up.
I don't know. But then also, it's interesting. I do believe, because there's so many witnesses, that she was in Vegas. I don't know how or why you land in Vegas, but that's a lot of witnesses.
Yeah, I do believe too. And like her dad said, like, was she recruited from somebody by the Playboy Mansion or by somebody when she was dancing, like, or just off the streets? Like, you let her out of a police station, or was it the deputy that left the police station? Like, so many answers, so many questions. Like, they failed her.
Yeah, I think she would still be alive if she was never arrested.
So do I.
Just based off of hearing the story and
It just doesn't
everything.
sound right. And, you know, they avoided did they, it was like a debate thing also. Like, did they not ask her about her mental health because they wanted to avoid doing all the paperwork? Well, oh well, if she has mental health issues, do the paperwork and get her help. So I just feel like they failed her from the start. I can't hear you if you're saying anything. There's no sound.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, this would have went a lot different if she was never arrested.
Right.
And they didn't have nothing to arrest her on in the first place.
No.
And I think also where her body was found is interesting.
Yeah.
Just being next to, like, a mansion that... Also, whatever happened with that? Like, was nobody ever questioned at that mansion? I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either.
And it's interesting because prior to her body being found there, like, she was in that area. Like, that's known when that guy called the police. So what was she
Right,
doing
and they
in that
didn't
area in
find
the first
anything
place?
then.
Right.
So.
Well, she was alive and well. Well, she wasn't
Mhm.
well, but I mean, she was alive when they called the first time, when she was in the yard. But then some time went on, she was being seen in Vegas, and then all of a sudden her body shows up back in the same area where that guy called the police
Right.
on because she was in his yard. And I don't know how close it was to his yard, but I mean, she was in that same area, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
She wanted to be a model, you said. She was... Maybe she just got caught up in the wrong... I don't know.
And that's a big possibility. She could have got caught up in the wrong, with the wrong
Yeah.
crowd, the wrong situation. Maybe she stumbled upon that mansion and
Yeah.
she started doing things that, she didn't want to do, and maybe they had her go out and maybe work the streets or whatever, like you.
Yeah. Because so many people seeing her in Vegas, there's no way she wasn't. Over 70 people say, yeah, that they do recognize that woman. I feel like she had to have been there.
Right.
And then you end up back in California, and that's where they find your body. Yeah, that's really interesting.
It's strange and it's weird.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah, I agree with you. I think something was done. Well, obviously something was done to
Yeah.
her, but it's just who and why.
right.
But if she was never arrested in the first place, none of that would have happened. All you had to do was call somebody to come get her.
Let the people pay the bill.
Right. The grandmother was even going to pay the bill.
Right. And if she's giving you her credit card information over the phone, like, that shit's gonna go through.
They
And
could have did it. Yeah.
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 They were just being extra, and, like, I feel like they were just racist. So.
Yeah. But she definitely had something psychological going on. I guess I don't know why or how or what brought it on.
Right.
But yeah, they definitely failed her by not getting her help.
Right.
Just the whole arrest thing is stupid because there was nothing to arrest her on.
Right.
She would have been safer in a hospital.
Right.
That's a shame. But as for what happened from being released from being arrested, and then like your travels to possibly Vegas, which I believe she was there, but I don't know how or why all that happened. But very interesting.
Right. So that is my conclusion on it, and
yeah, I agree.
I hope we gave enough information and kept you guys interested, and sorry for some of the pauses, but
It's life.
yeah, that's me.
Okay,
well,
Yeah.
Remember, guys,
Interesting. Go ahead.
don't be a sad bitch, be a bad bitch.
Hey. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Till next time.